The second question that I want to ask you is the Andromedans had mentioned several changes about to occur, what Jay-Z referred to. Sovereignty is a major concern for many of us. Many of these changes are going to represent financial opportunities as they unfold. I know that dates and specific levels or prices are mutable and subject to change, but have they given you any signposts or preliminary events to watch out for that indicate that change is imminent or about to happen? Thank you.
The earthquakes are changes, are signs. The volcanoes are signs. When you start to see large groups of people resigning from world government, that will be your biggest sign that shit's about to hit the fan. Okay? Many of our world leaders have been promised underground facilities, and some even on the moon. And folks, there are bases on the moon that were built by the United States, Russians, and the British, using British money. And I would suggest to you very, very strongly, you keep an eye on Prince Charles. Okay? Just watch. No, just watch. Then don't. Next question, please. Next question, please.
When you spoke about the transition between going from fourth density to fifth density, how are we going to know that we made that transition?
Okay, that's an easy question. Okay, we live in a color spectrum of 72 frequencies, or 72 colors. When you get to fifth density, there are 223 different frequencies and colors. You will see colors you have never ever seen before, and it'll be just like that. And you know you will be there. Okay? Yes, sir. I mean, when McDonald's has purple arches, then you'll know.
Do the Andromedans have a military? And do they have a financial system, anything like ours?
Okay, great question. No, they have no financial system. Everything that they create technologically is used for the advancement of their race. It is for educational purposes only. But it can be used in defense. No, they do not have an army or a military per se. They are scientists. What they do is they send their children to school from anywhere from 150 to 200 years. This is our time. Well, you know, they live 1,000 years, 1,500, 2,000 years. And what they do is they teach their students all of the arts and sciences. They are literally PhDs or masters in everything. Then at that point, they have the choice as to what it is they want to do. And they can change their minds in a heartbeat and do something else. So they are given all the tools. Everything is for education. Nothing is for distraction. Okay, they would never conceive of creating television as a distraction. Never. Okay, everything is to help them evolve. And their science and their technology can be used in defensive purposes. Mostly the holographic stuff. Yes, sir.
I'm wondering if you could elaborate on the Dracos and Hale-Bopp a little bit.
What I have shared is really all that I know. I just know that life is going to be very different. They say it's a comet. It's not a comet. I can tell you this, that it has split into two pieces, and both pieces are rotating, okay, around an invisible axis. They're rotating like this as it's moving. And something that a friend told me that she heard on Art Bell, and I have not confirmed this, okay, so this is still rumor, but apparently an astronomer was on Art Bell, and he called and said that they have seen a large craft that is now flying alongside Hale-Bopp that's larger than the Earth. Okay, so if it doesn't change course, It's going to be great. It's going to be great. All the denial's going to be gone. You know. Yes.
I understand the Andromedans have a version of the story of Enki and Enlil, and I'm wondering if you could tell us anything about that.
Oh, that's a long question. Long answer. Actually, my understanding is that the two brothers have really warred with each other over a lot of other issues. We just happen to be one of them. I do know that Enki, what they've told me is that Enki was betrayed and killed, and that his body is literally buried in the face that's on Mars. Now, whether he's reincarnated or not, again, I don't know. But that's all I know. Basically, what we have to deal with now is Enlil. But fortunately, you know, truth is starting to come out about all that, and people are waking up and you know, realizing and seeing the contradictions in the Old Testament and even some of the contradictions in the New Testament, and they're starting to question, which is a very, very good sign. You know, Phaseus once said to me, "It is not so important what you believe, but as to why you believe it. And whatever your belief is, make sure that it is worth the depth of your commitment to it." And, you know, I think what we've done as a race is we've accepted a lot of things just on face value without truly investigating it or trying to feel it inside of us. And it's gotten us into a lot of trouble. For example, the Inquisition. You know, the Inquisition was really an attack against women. That's really what it was about the sacredness, the Wicca of women, and the science that they held, the spirituality that they held. That's really what it was about. A lot of men got killed because they were supportive of the goddess worship. You know, and that was a huge travesty on the human race. Just one of many. Next question.
This scenario that you're laying out before us exists on this reality, on this parallel reality, or this timeline. What if the Andromedans say about parallel realities where this scenario doesn't happen?
He's not going to like my answer. They haven't said anything. I know that there are parallel realities, and I know that Earth, that several parallel realities of Earth are already in existence in the higher octaves above us. I know that in one of the realities, the New World Order is already established and exists. And, the Nazi flag flies over the whole world. I want you to know that as third density begins to implode, that all of those realities will be moving and merging into the one. Okay? Because the reality of which those two were created is the one we're on. And all the other ones will be returning to source. Now, they've said that the New World Order will come into reality here, but for a short time. As we keep moving. As long as we stick together, as long as we help one another, as long as we have mutual respect for each other, we will not slow down our process as we move up, into the higher dimension, or just to a higher consciousness of world unity of our free will, not being forced at the point of a gun to do it, or not having to relinquish your rights. Here in the United States, a lot of people are worried about the Russians. They're worried about the Hong Kong police and the New World Order. Let me tell you something, folks. You're losing your country in the courtroom every day. It's in the courtroom. Corrupt judges and institutionalized corruption. And I'll tell you what, if you allow, this is my own little political statement, if you allow the Congress and the President to take away the Second Amendment, you will lose all your other rights.